Hi folks, welcome back to the DC build series. Sorry it's been an absolute age since I last posted a video. I think it's probably end of September I think was the last video. I've had several other builds on the go, but we're going to get back onto this now, and I've got the bodies to work on, so we're going to crack on with that now. So just to recap where we are, we've made the necks, mostly made the necks. We've still got to carve the necks, and I routed out the shape of the bodies, and also over Christmas I started working up a couple of other blanks. Here we've got a European walnut top, or cap shall I say, which is about 17mm thick. That's going to be carved, and on the back we've got a two-piece ash body, and that's also going to be carved. So it's going to have an arch shape in the back, in the front, and it's going to have a mirror of the arch shape on the back. And this one here, this is European flamed maple, Eastern European flamed maple shall I say, and this is European walnut as well for the body. And just like the other one, this has got a 17mm cap. This body's slightly thinner. I went slightly thinner on this one because the walnut's quite a bit heavier. So that's going to have a carve on the back too. This one is going to look amazing, I think. But anyway, that's enough of these. So once we've got these builds out of the way, we'll be working on these guys. So back onto these two bodies. I routed these out, I think it would have been late July or August last year, and there has been just a tiny amount of movement. We're talking a fairly minuscule amount. I don't know if you can see. There's a tiny gap on the sides there. And it's exactly the same with this one. Although actually I think this one's moved slightly more. Let's see if you can see there. There you go. Tiny little gap. Just here and just here. Which means that there'll be a similar gap in the centre, because if it's done this on one side, it's going to have done the opposite on the other side, so there'll be a, I suspect, here we go, minuscule little gap. Was probably, I don't know, that's like a hair, but it's enough to want to flatten out again. So I'm going to chuck these through the drum sander quickly, and that'll get them perfectly flat again. Now I'm going to lose my centre line in both cases, so I'm just going to put a little mark here and a little mark here on the sides, and that's going to tell me where to redraw my centre line on both of them. So we'll do that now. Let's go.
there's no need to turn this love around. Today we will play the broken-hearted, a matinee that's gonna tear this place right down. Now I know just how you feel, like there's a card still left to deal. No one can break or tolerate this thing we've made.
So I've got my centre lines back in, they're flat, so I'm ready to work on them now. Several jobs that I need to do. I need to route neck pockets, I need to route pickup cavities, I need to route control cavity, I need hole for the jack, and I'm going to also do roundovers. So there is a fairly specific order that I need to do these. Let's think. I want to route a neck pocket, and if I route the neck pocket first and I go to do a roundover, around by the neck pocket there's going to be nowhere for the bearing on the roundover bit to go, so that's a no-no. So one of the first things I will need to do is do a roundover on the bottom. I also need to have the roundovers done before I drill the jack plug. Again, there'll be a hole there with nothing for the bearing to travel on. So if you drill your jack plug first and then go around, you'll end up with a nasty little divot in the bottom of the body, so we don't want to do that. So let's do the roundovers first. No, we won't. Before I do any of that, I need to smooth out all these sides. So I'll do as much of that as I can on the spindle sander, and then I'll probably get a scraper on it. So we'll do that first.
And it's hard to wear the crown when this love it gets you down. Throw your matches down the hatches, will still be air you live and breathe. With all the rumors we've been fed, just like a lap dance for the dead. No need to say the things that have already been said. And it's hard to wear the crown when this...
Cool. Now I can't get inside the horns with this big bobbin, so I'm just going to switch out to a slightly smaller one. Look. A bit on the small side. Next size down. Cool. So, tops are flat, sides are now nice and smooth. Now, for the most part, I was using, it was 150 grit bobbin sander, and that takes out so much of the work on sanding the sides, because it's not that much fun sanding all this stuff by hand. And I did this first before doing the roundovers, because if I do the roundovers and then I need to smooth the sides, then I'm going to end up not having an accurate roundover and I might have to come back and do it again, so it makes sense to do this job first. So now that's done, I can route the roundovers. What I'll probably do is route the roundover on the underside all the way around, especially important under the neck pocket, so that I can then route the neck pocket, and I'll probably do just around here. That way I can drill the hole for my jack without having to do that roundover. But I probably won't do the roundover on the rest of the top, just because it will help me locate my templates more easily. Once there's roundover, it's a bit sort of harder to line your templates up perfectly. So we'll do some roundovers now. Cool. Roundover.
Hey, what's left to dream about? In the garden by the square, that sand won't lead you anywhere. It's hard to handle with the hands that you laid bare. With all the rumors we've been fed, just like a lap dance for the dead. No need to say the things that have already been said. And it's hard to wear the crown when this love it gets you down. Throw your matches down the hatches, will still be air you live and breathe. Hey, what's left to think about? Hey, what's left to dream about? Hey, what's left to think about? Hey, what's left to dream about?
Cool. Let's just do this bottom corner around by the jack.
Think about. Hey, what's left to dream about? Hey, what's left to think about? Hey, what's left to dream about?
One down. Right, so I've done my roundover on the front here, just around this corner where the jack's going to go. And we've got a nice smooth roundover all around the back. So the next job I want to do is to drill my jack hole. And I'm doing that before I route my control cavity, and the reason for that is if I route my control cavity first and then I take a big old Forstner bit and drill right through there, as soon as I reach the cavity I'm going to get a whole load of tear out in the control cavity. It's not a big deal, but it just looks a bit neater if the holes are drilled first. So I've got my template here, and The template has got the location of my volume, switch, tone, jack. So I'm just going to use that to mark out where the hole for my jack's going to go. So it's going about there. Protractor. So I just need to find center. So this is just a center punch, and I'm popping it through the holes in the template, and that's going to give me, provided my template doesn't move, the location of the pots and the switch on the top. So I can see those. I used to just use a drill bit to do that, but this thing is so much more accurate because it's an actual perfectly round punch, whereas the point on a brad point bit isn't round, it's just kind of flat, so it's nowhere near as accurate. So I know where that is, and I know where that is. That's going to give me the location and the direction that I need to drill in. Stick a bit of cork in there, protect the wood a bit. Get off. Right. Set the light on so I can see what I'm doing. Now that there is plenty deep enough for the jack, so what I'll just do, rather than taking away loads more material, I'll just take away the last little bit with a smaller drill bit, like a, what's this, 9 or 10, chuck a 9 in there. And pretty much the length of the bit is where this tone pot's going to go, so I'll just go in that far. So the jack hole's done, and now I think I'll just drill out these, and I will go with an 8mm bit. Most pots are around 9mm, apart from the switch, which will be about 12mm. But I can ream up to a 9mm from an 8 in case of any tear out, and I can use a step drill to go from 8 to 12. So I'll do that once I've done the cavity, so I'll just put them in now. And this is a neat little trick I like. If you don't have a drill press, you can stick a couple of straight edges either side, and you can use those to reference your X and Y and drill straight. Now I'm just going to start the drill in reverse. That'll prevent tear out. Now I've probably got some tear out on the other side, but I'm not too worried about that because I'm going to be routing all the cavity anyway, so it's fine. I don't think I've actually gone all the way through on all the holes, so let's have a look. All the way through on one of them. Now you might wonder why I just drilled into my workbench. I'm planning on replacing this top very soon, so I'm not too worried at the moment. Right, so I've got a jack hole drilled, I've got pilot holes-ish for my volume, switch, tone, got the round over around the jack, got the round over on the back, that way I'll have a nice round over underneath the neck pocket when I come to do that. And that also tells me where my control cover is going to go, so it'll help me locate that route. So in the next episode then, I guess we will do neck pocket probably. Neck pocket, potentially pickups, and then control cavity.